Hey everyone, Udit Goenka here from Udit.co, and you're listening to Modern Revenue, the podcast where I talk about the future of SaaS sales. This podcast is brought to you by firstsales.io, a modern email outreaching and warm-up tool to help you fill your sales pipeline up to 7x faster. PitchGround, my SaaS marketplace, and TinyCheck, my SaaS venture studio. In today's action-packed episode, we're not doing small talk. I'm going to break down why your SaaS onboarding process might be silently sabotaging your growth and exactly how to fix it. Think of onboarding as the make or break moment for new customers. Get it right, and you set the stage for long-term retention, loyalty, and increased revenue. Get it wrong, and you're throwing away hard-earned acquisition dollars and damaging your company's reputation. I've worked with countless SaaS companies, big and small, who obsess over lead generation and closing deals, but treat onboarding as an afterthought. It's like spending a fortune on a fancy car and then ignoring the owner's manual. You're setting yourself up for a rough ride. Over the years, I've seen the same costly mistakes repeated over and over. But the good news is fixing your onboarding is often about making strategic adjustments, not a complete overhaul. So if you're ready to turn your onboarding process into a growth engine, buckle up. In the next few chapters, we're going to dissect the broken onboarding problem, pinpoint common mistakes, and give you a blueprint for an onboarding experience that keeps customers happy and boosts your bottom line. Before we dive in, let's take a step back and consider a familiar situation. Have you ever logged into a tool and had no clue what to do, having to wait at least 24 hours for someone from the customer success team to get back to you? I completely understand the situation from both sides. The user wants to get started with the tool, but the customer success manager doesn't have time to help them right away. That's where tools like user onboarding and engagement platforms come in. This episode covers 5 main things: an intro to personas, what onboarding actually is, who we are building for, personalization, and getting users to value as quickly as possible. Before you can start building your product's onboarding journey, you need to understand who you're building for. A basic persona template can give you insight into how you should design your journey. Many people think that onboarding starts when users get to your product and sign in, but there's a whole journey before that which people neglect. Onboarding starts before sign up on your homepage, in the messaging users receive, and their understanding of what they're signing up for. It's important to have marketing and product aligned on the problem being solved and how it will provide value. It's crucial to set realistic expectations. Often products create unrealistic expectations of what they will solve, leaving users feeling deceived when they land in the product and it doesn't match what was promised. This first impression is hard to change, so messaging and copy must be aligned with what the product actually provides. Now, let's dive into Chapter 1, where we explore the true cost of broken onboarding. Chapter 1. The true cost of broken onboarding. It's not just frustration. Picture this. You've spent months perfecting your SaaS product. You've poured sweat and marketing dollars into landing a shiny new customer. They're excited, you're excited, the honeymoon phase is on, but then reality hits. Your sleek interface? It's a confusing labyrinth to them. That intuitive setup you envisioned feels like an endless series of hurdles. The features you slaved over, they don't quite see how it solves their problems. This, my friends, is the death by 1,000 cuts that is broken onboarding. And the worst part? Most SaaS companies vastly underestimate the true cost. They think, some users churn, it's the nature of the game. Wrong. Broken onboarding isn't just about frustrated users, it's about bleeding revenue and sabotaging your growth trajectory. Let's dissect why. The aha moment that never happens. Onboarding isn't about feature tours, it's about guiding users to the aha moment. That point where they truly grasp how your product will make their lives easier, better, more profitable, whatever your value proposition is. Without that moment, they're just treading water, likely to churn soon, even if your product could have solved their problem. It's like giving someone top-notch running shoes, but never teaching them how to run. Potential wasted. The churn monster you're feeding. Data doesn't lie, and you better make friends with data if you want to run a successful SaaS company. Studies by various sources consistently show a direct correlation between poor onboarding and sky-high churn rates. Think about that. You're spending to acquire customers only to toss them out the back door due to a fixable onboarding issue. The revenue black hole. Onboarding isn't just about retention, it's about missed growth opportunities. A well-tuned onboarding process is your prime time to showcase the value of higher tiers, relevant add-ons, and cross-sales. When customers are confused and doubtful, they won't upgrade. You're leaving money on the table and limiting the lifetime value (LTV) of each customer. Bottom line, broken onboarding is like a silent profit killer. It masquerades as user error or market forces, but the truth is, it's often a self-inflicted wound, and the financial implications are staggering. But that's just the start. In the next chapter, we're going to dig into the most common ways SaaS companies screw up their onboarding so you can avoid those pitfalls. Chapter 2: Sins of SaaS Onboarding. Are you guilty? Alright, I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Chances are there are some critical onboarding mistakes lurking in your process right now. Don't worry, most SaaS companies fall for these traps at some point. The key is recognizing them and fixing them ASAP. Let's break down the most common onboarding sins. The feature dump. Here's everything our software can do. You bombard new users with a whirlwind tour of buttons, menus, and options. It's overwhelming, not enlightening. This is like getting a fancy camera with a 500-page instruction manual on day one. You're going to shut down before you ever take a great picture. Focus on the core actions needed for that aha moment first. Friction overload, the obstacle course edition. Complicated sign-up, confusing setups, zero guidance when users hit a snag. Every point of friction is an exit ramp for potential customers. Remember, people buy SaaS to solve a problem, not create new ones. A study found that every extra step in the onboarding process can decrease conversion rates. Make it smooth. One size fits none, the impersonal approach. Treating every user the same regardless of their role, company size, or goals is a surefire way to miss the mark. Onboarding should be tailored. It's like buying a suit. Off the rack might work okay-ish, but a perfectly fitted one makes you look like $1 million. Use in-app surveys or your sales team's knowledge to personalize the experience. Where's the win? Missing motivation. You assume users intrinsically know why they signed up, and that's enough to carry them through onboarding. Wrong? Remind them constantly of the value they'll achieve. Connect each step of onboarding back to the problem they're trying to solve. Motivation fuels action, and you need users to take action to succeed. The bottom line: these sins make onboarding feel like a chore for the user, not a pathway to success. Remember, customers don't want to just learn your software. They want to achieve their goals faster and easier. If your onboarding isn't aligned with that, you're setting yourself up for churn and lost revenue. That's enough doom and gloom for now. In the next chapter, I'm going to flip the script. We'll discuss the elements of an onboarding experience that turns new customers into raving fans and unlocks that sweet, sweet growth potential. Chapter 3: The Success Framework. Onboarding as your growth engine. Forget about onboarding as a fluffy welcome experience. The best SaaS companies view it as a strategic lever, tightly connected to revenue and customer satisfaction. Here's the framework breakdown, built with intention. Goal-first features. Second, every single step of your onboarding should move the user closer to their desired outcome. What problem are they trying to solve with your product? What does success look like for them? Reverse engineer your onboarding so every action feels like progress, not just busy work. Segmentation. That matters. Personalization is key. Are you onboarding an enterprise customer tech team or a solopreneur trying to scale their side hustle? Tailor the experience based on their needs, tech savviness, and desired use cases. This extra effort upfront pays massive dividends in customer success. Frictionless is the name of the game. Remove every possible roadblock. Clear instructions, proactive troubleshooting, think in-app help, chatbots, or readily available docs, and make it intuitive to take the next step. Studies on user psychology prove that the harder something feels, the less likely people are to complete it. Make it easy, even enjoyable. Track those quick wins. What are the early milestones a user needs to hit to experience that aha moment? Define these clearly, track them relentlessly, and celebrate them with the user. Gamification techniques, think progress bars, celebratory graphics, work surprisingly well here because they tap into our desire for achievement. The bottom line: onboarding done right builds trust. It proves to your customers that you understand their needs and you're invested in their success. And trust me, nothing builds loyalty and advocacy faster in the SaaS world than a company that puts the customer's success first, the growth connection. This level of onboarding might seem like a lot of work, but remember, investment here pays off exponentially. Happy, successful customers stick around longer. Hello, increase CLV. Plus, they'll be more receptive to upgrade offers or explore add-ons when positioned strategically throughout their onboarding journey. Now, let's talk about the success framework. Goal first, features. Second, tactics. Brief intake form during sign up to understand the user's top 2, 3 goals. Use this to tailor walkthroughs and in-app messaging. This not only guides their experience but also gives you valuable data for future personalization. Segmentation. That matters in tactics. Integrate with CRM data if available. Adapt onboarding flows and content based on company size, industry, or the customer's job title role. For example, the technical lead of an enterprise client might get a more in-depth onboarding than a small business owner. Frictionless is the name of the game. Tactics. Interactive walkthroughs guide users step by step with visual cues and pop-up. Far more engaging than static instructions. Tools like UserPilot or AppQueue specialize in this. Proactive help. Chatbots or easily accessible help sections preempt common questions, prevents frustration and support overload. Track those quick wins. Tactics, first value. Email sequence. Celebrate when a user achieves a key milestone. You've created your first campaign. Include the next suggested action to keep them moving forward. Progress indicators. A simple in-app progress bar or checklist motivates completion and builds anticipation for that full aha moment. Key point, don't overload users with all features and possibilities during onboarding. Focus on delivering that core initial value first. Once they see their problems being solved, then there's a natural opening for showcasing additional functionality and the benefits of upgrading. Pro tip, track every step of your onboarding flow. Where do users drop off? Are they getting stuck? This data reveals pain points you may not even realize exist. Iterating on these points is how good onboarding becomes exceptional. Speaking of strategy, in the next chapter, we're going to dig into how to leverage onboarding for upsells and turning those successful users into advocates who help you acquire even more great customers. Stay tuned because this is where things get really interesting. Chapter 4. Beyond retention, onboarding as a revenue accelerator. Here's the thing most SaaS companies miss. Onboarding isn't just about keeping customers from churning. It's a golden opportunity to drive revenue expansion and create passionate advocates for your brand. Let's break down how. The strategic upsell. When users hit those quick win milestones and experience the value of your product firsthand, that's the perfect time to introduce them to higher tier features or relevant add-ons. Don't be pushy, but showcase how the next level could further supercharge their results. Tie this back to their goals, always. Advocacy in the making. Delighted users are your most powerful marketing asset. A well-crafted onboarding process nurtures this by making users feel successful and empowered. Include prompts for brief testimonials at key points or incentivize referrals once they've reached a certain stage of success. Word of mouth is gold in the SaaS world. The feedback goldmine. Don't just track usage metrics during onboarding, actively solicit feedback. Surveys, in-app prompts, get inside your users' heads. What confused them? What would have made things smoother? This qualitative data is invaluable for product improvements that benefit your entire customer base, leading to even greater retention. The power of timing. It's crucial to get the timing right for upsells and advocacy asks. Too early in the onboarding process and it seems spammy. Users aren't invested yet, but hit those aha moments, demonstrate value, and users become receptive to expanding their use of your product. This is more art than science, which is why those onboarding flow analytics are so crucial. The bottom line, you've already invested time and resources into acquiring customers. Onboarding is how you maximize that investment, not simply by retaining them, but also by increasing their lifetime value, LTV, creating brand promoters, and gaining insights that make your product even better. That's true growth, fueled by a deliberate onboarding experience. All right, we're moving towards the finish line. In the last chapter, I'll give you some tools to supercharge your onboarding even further, and we'll recap the key takeaways you need to transform your SaaS onboarding from a hurdle into a powerful engine for success. Chapter 5. Your onboarding toolkit. While thoughtful strategy forms the backbone of epic onboarding, The right tools help you execute with precision, gather insights, and scale your efforts. Here's a breakdown of key categories to consider. Interactive walkthrough. Specialists. Tools like UserPilot, AppQues, and Chameleon specialize in creating visually guided in-app walkthroughs, hotspots, and tooltips. These let you customize onboarding flows without needing heavy developer involvement. Think of it as leveling up from static help talks to an engaging, personalized walkthrough. The behavior trackers. Software like Mixpanel, Amplitude, or Heap let you delve deep into how users interact with your product during onboarding. These tools reveal drop-off points where users get stuck and which features lead to those quick win moments. This data is essential for refining your onboarding over time. Help desk meets onboarding. Integrating your help desk or knowledge-based software, Zendesk, Help Scout, etc. into your onboarding has multiple benefits. You can proactively surface relevant articles where users are likely to struggle and track the support tickets that arise during onboarding to identify common issues. Additional considerations: email automation. Your onboarding shouldn't live solely within your app. A well-timed email sequence, celebrating user wins, offering help, nudging them along, works in tandem with your in-app experience for maximum impact. Most email marketing platforms, MailChimp, ConvertKit, etc., can handle this. Video. Short, targeted explainer videos can be incredibly effective for certain steps of the onboarding process. Don't overuse them, but strategically placed videos can add a human touch and clarify complex concepts. Tools like Loom make video creation a breeze. A note on budget. There are fantastic free and freemium options within many of these categories. As your SaaS grows, investing in more robust tools becomes worthwhile for their analytics capabilities and advanced customization features. The bottom line: tools alone won't save broken onboarding, but the right ones paired with the strategic framework we've covered will empower you to track, fine-tune, and deliver onboarding experiences that consistently drive growth. All right, let's wrap this up. In the final section, I'll give you a condensed recap of the vital lessons and action steps to take your onboarding from me to a truly remarkable customer experience. Conclusion: onboarding as your competitive advantage. We've covered a lot of ground, from the hidden cost of clunky onboarding to the common mistakes that sabotage user success, to the strategic framework and tools that empower you to craft an experience that fuels growth. Here's the thing to remember. In the crowded world of SaaS, onboarding isn't just a nice to have, it's often a make or break factor. Companies who figure this out gain a competitive advantage that goes beyond flashy features. They understand that onboarding is about customer success, not features. Guide your users to their desired outcomes and everything else follows. Every customer deserves a tailored path. Segmentation and personalization are key to maximizing customer lifetime value. Onboarding is your revenue engine. Upsells, advocacy, and data-driven product improvements all stem from a stellar onboarding process. Your mission, should you choose to accept it: don't settle for mediocre onboarding. Here's your roadmap to transformation. 1. Audit time. Honestly assess your current onboarding. Are users confused, frustrated, or simply churning after sign-up? 2. Find your friction points. Analyze onboarding data. Where do users drop off or get stuck? What questions keep coming up? 3. Align with goals. Ensure every step of your onboarding ties back to the customer's desired outcomes. 4. Experiment and iterate. Onboarding is never done. Use data and feedback to continuously optimize the experience. The payoff: investing in world-class onboarding is worth it. Reports from sources like McKinsey, Bain & Company, and Gartner often highlight the connection between excellent customer onboarding experiences and increased customer lifetime value, CLV. I hope this deep dive has shattered some assumptions and armed you with the knowledge to transform your onboarding from an afterthought into a true pillar of your growth success. In summary, effective user onboarding requires work defining clear personas and their pain points, starting onboarding before sign-up with aligned messaging, setting realistic expectations about the product, making the experience as simple as possible for beginners, personalizing the journey based on user goals, mapping out steps and removing friction to accelerate time to value, focusing on the aha moment of solving a key pain point, not overloading new users but providing a single strong point of value, Optimizing user onboarding is crucial for SaaS products to successfully convert new sign-up into engaged, retained customers. By deeply understanding users and guiding them to value as quickly as possible, products can build strong relationships from the first interaction. Thank you for joining me on the Modern Revenue Podcast. Remember, subscribe for more actionable tips to supercharge your SaaS sales. Until next time.